FaceTime moment number one. If you've been listening to me, you know I'm all about growth, development, progress, success, anything that will help you become the person you were created to be. That's what I am all about. And I've decided to be naming all these videos now FaceTime success because I want it to be a conversation I'm having with somebody, which is what I've always liked, I've always desired. But my whole life I've always been told I'm too different, I'm too serious, I take things too seriously, which I've come to accept that that's who I am, that's how I'm supposed to show up. And for those that need the seriousness, that needs the things God has put in me, God has grown in me and is willing to release them now, would be blessed by, because yes, I like to have fun. Yes, I like to enjoy. But I'm one of the people that always thinks about the future, always thinks about the life you want, how to make it happen. What are the things you need to do? What are who's the person you need to be in order for those things to happen? So when I sit among maybe people of my age, people maybe at times above me or below me, uh, I always get this impression of why people are just interested in talking about anything, anyhow, and just laughing it. I'm always about concerned about like what is the vision you have for your life? What are you planning on doing? What is it that you see for yourself, and how can you start preparing for it now? Because the problem is most of us plan for the things we wish our life should look like. Most of us plan for the things we want our life to look like. Most of us plan for what we want our marriages, our career, our businesses to look like. But few of us actually sit down to prepare for it, because it is the lifestyle you have today that's building the legacy you will live tomorrow. Legacy is not built when you reach a certain age, after you make a certain amount of money, after you make a certain amount of impact. No, legacy is built from the first day you were born. You've been building a legacy. And the only question is, would the legacy you will leave behind you, would the legacy that will outlive you be a random one or an intentional aligned legacy? Because people will remember you for something. You'll be remembered for something by whether it's by your spouse, by your children, by your siblings, by your co-workers, by your employees, by your neighbors. You will be remembered for something. The only question is, will it be what you intended? Yes, I put in the factor that regardless of what you do, regardless of how you're willing to help people, people only remember you for what they choose to remember you. But will you be at least try to be remembered for something before people choose otherwise? Because your life is in your hands. You see what I was saying? These are the kind of conversation that when I sit with people around me, these are the kind of conversation I want to have. What is the impact you want to leave in your children, not just for your children? And if maybe you're preparing for thinking about marriage, thinking about parenting, thinking about building a business, working in a career, I'm more concerned about who you are supposed to be in order to hold whatsoever comes in those different spaces. Who am I supposed to be? Which capacity do I need to have in order for me to uh, 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 be the best employee in this company, be the best entrepreneur in this business that I have, be the best spouse that I want to be the best parent that I want to be. Who am I supposed to be? Because most of the time we push the responsibility to other people. We think the life I want depends on many, like most of us think that 95% of what we want most of us think that the life we want depends on the 90 the life we want. 95% of it depend on external factors, whether it's the money we need, whether it's the people we need, whether it's the help, the resources, whatsoever it is. We think 95% depend on all of that. Why the truth is 95% of the life you want depends on you, because you can pray for the right things and the things come in your life, but if you don't have the capacity to hold it, you will lose it. And these are the kind of conversation that I'm all interested about: growth, development, success, progress, making a difference in your own life. You must not change the whole world, but the difference you make in your life will impact your children, will impact your siblings, and in some ways will impact your community around you, the society, and enlarge a nation. So when it comes to dreaming big, it's not necessarily that you have to dream to save the whole world. And you don't need to save the whole world because Jesus Christ already did that. It's how are you living your life today that will help you maximize what your children will experience, what everybody around you will experience. How intentionally are you living your life today to make sure that the life you say you want, you're really working towards it and not away from it? Because most of us say we want something, but our daily action, our lifestyle on a daily basis is pointing out a different way. And then we are surprised that 10 years later, 20 years later, we're like, but I thought, and you're not there. Yeah, you're not there because you said you wanted something, but you were working, your daily choices, your daily decision, your lifestyle was pointing out to a different destination. And you thought, no, somehow randomly it will just happen. No, randomly it won't happen. So as I said, this is FaceTime moment number 1, and we'll be having this kind of conversation as I feel led, and whatever topic I feel led to talk about. But it will always revolve around you, because I'm more concerned about who you have to become in order to hold space for everything you say you want for your life. So if you're listening to me and you're the kind of person that like to push responsibility to other people, you liked, because one of the things I've learned is that many people complain about what they don't want, but few people want to do something to move out of it. Many people are complaining but comfortable in the mess in which they are in. And it took me a long time, painfully, to accept that it's okay if you like the mess you're in. It's okay if you can complain from now to tomorrow, every day, all year, but you're still willing to stay in it. You're still willing to struggle in it and call it hardworking and call it being patient and call it not giving up. Or you can choose to move out of it. It's a decision. It starts with a decision. You can choose to move out of it and embrace the isolation and the exploration phase that will come out of that. Because once you make a decision to change something in your life, you have to be willing to sit in wondering, because you might decide, but you might not yet know what to do next. You might not yet know what, because decisions for me are keys that open doors, and at times you open a door without even knowing what is in it. You have to sit inside that room once you've made that decision, at times alone. That's what I call the isolation phase. You have to sit there alone by yourself, for yourself, because you understand that you want to move. You want something different, something better, something new. And that will require to have to cut yourself from the life you once thought to the life you once had, and to embrace what is new, which at times most of us don't have the answer yet. But we're not patient enough to sit in that isolation until we have what exactly we need in order to move on. Which is why we prefer to stay in the messiness we are in, because I'd rather stay in the comfort but restless place I am in than move into the discomfort but peaceful place. That's how we tell ourselves, no, at least I know how this work, I know how this has been, at least I've been managing, so let me know. But if I try to change to do something else, I'll have to sit there and wondering, what will people say? What would they like? What will I, will they ask me what will I be doing? What will I, why? Because 95% of your life you think depends on external factors. Why? That same 95% all depends on you. The power is within you, the power is in your hands. The question is, are you willing to go through the pain, to go through the process for the product, for the result to be produced? So that was it for now. If I have something else to share, you might see me. I pray it's a blessing to you. And until next time, I want you to explore, to evolve, and to expand with intention and not randomly.